going out like a sucker, no way.
With all the recent success of Paly sports, many publications have been following how successful they have been. But INfocus has decided to take a closer look on just where the success begins. They say success breeds success, and that is certainly true for Paly High. For over a century, Paly teams in every sport have displayed a long list of historical achievements.
Well, I think Hod Ray was more than just Paly football. At one point, he was coaching 4 sports. You know, he did basketball, baseball, and track at one time also. But he was, he was the athletic department in those days, basically. So he was here for 1921 to 1951.
Hod Ray was born in 1894 in Roslyn, Washington. He went to Oregon State and majored in animal husbandry. He was hired as Palo Alto High School's football coach in 1921. Football was not the only sport he coached in his many years at Paly. He also coached baseball, basketball, and track, all with a highly successful record. His only disaster was when he tried to coach swimming. The Pollywogs, as they were named back then, lost both their meets.
You know, he was a special man. I met a lot of the people that played for him. My father played for him, so he was a major figure in Palo Alto.
Hod Ray even built the first version of the field named after himself in 1929, with the help of 2 students, Phil Christensen and Dean Stanley, who put in the piping and found just 1 leak when they tried it out. The WBA put in the present Hod Ray field, and later the baseball field. Paly had an interesting 30 years between the time Hod Ray was hired in 1921 and he died in 1951. In 1921, he was hired as the full-time physical education teacher, and eventually he became Paly's athletic director. 4 years later, Hod Ray had such an impact on Paly that Madrono dedicated their issue to him. In 1930, the Viking was selected by the student body as the mascot. Also, the field was cleared and piping was added. It was later named after Hod Ray. When the war hit, 6 teachers entered the war, including 2 of Hod Ray's assistant coaches. In 1948, the student body votes to change the colors to green and white from green and red. The same year, Howard Bud Ray, Hod Ray's son, joins the varsity football team. With Madeline and Marilyn Wood, twins from Palo Alto who are Bugs Bunny animators and artists from Warner Bros., Hod brought out a booklet called Football Facts and Fun in 1949. Its clever drawings and text on football from the average spectator's point of view won it a write-up in Life magazine. 1950 and 1951 sees 2 consecutive winning varsity football teams. The 1950 and 1951 seasons are the last 2 years of Hod Ray's coaching career at Paly. He was head of the varsity football for 31 seasons, 1921 through 1951. The Paly victory over Sequoia at Stanford Stadium on Saturday, December 1st, 1951, marked the 18th straight victory over a 2-year period for Hod Ray's Paly Vikings. Also, it was the 2nd straight year that his football team was undefeated. He died of a heart attack 16 days later on Monday, December 17th, 1951, at the age of 57. The current Hod Ray field was renovated in 2008 and combined many new features while preserving the original design. Here's some current members of the football team and how the field affects their play.
I think we definitely have one of the best playing surfaces for a high school around here. So we've had the turf for about 3 or 4 years now, and it's holding up good, and it's a great surface. You don't get a lot of burns. It's basically like playing on grass, but it's definitely nice. So we're excited about it.
The difference is, tremendous difference, because if you remember the first round of the playoffs last year, it was a torrential downpour. We were probably soaked and cold before the game even started, and that it would have been a muddy mess. And practice on that at this time of the year, I was always worried about ankles and the holes that were created out there, and we don't have to worry about that kind of thing anymore.
Hod Ray left us with these words: "I wouldn't trade my years here for any other work. I've enjoyed it, and having a home here, one of the best places a person can live." Hod Ray will always have a home in Palo Alto, even if he isn't here, because his legacy lives on in our field and in our hearts forever.
Although the history plays a huge role, the main focus has been Paly's recent successes in numerous sports.
For the first time in 50 years, Paly football went undefeated en route to both CCS and Division I state championships.
We wanted to take care of our league first. That was our first goal, is always to win our league. Hopefully we're at that point of our season and we're playing our best football and go through our CCS and then maybe a state game.
We didn't go into the season expecting to win state, and we just got better every game, and everything really came together for us, and it was just an exciting year.
Well, we had really great team chemistry, and we knew each other's strengths and weaknesses, and we really figured out how to use that to our advantage to overcome other teams.
So many different weapons. We had a quarterback, wide receivers, great defense, special teams. I think we just all around, we were a really complete team.
Our concern was not the talent on that team, it was just how well we were going to pull them together and make sure that they're playing on the playing as a team.
Kind of towards the end of the season, when we were getting close to 10-0, we saw we had something really special. I think after we beat Bellarmine 35-0, we really had a lot of confidence, and I think it was kind of around then that we started getting excited and think that we had a chance for state.
Winning states was really just a surreal experience, unlike any other I've ever felt before.
The experience was just awesome, and it's definitely a great memory for me.
It was a great experience, there's no question about it. I looked around and saw how happy all the team was, and the coaches and the fans up there. It was a special day.
Paly Wrestling won the end of the year Scavala Championship and sent junior Kalen Gantz to the state meet.
It kind of runs in cycles. We had 3 groups since we've all been together coaching for 12 years now that came through, could score really well and do well, and we fell short a couple times. We've had the kids since junior high. This group here all came out and did a great job, and we had just got over the hump that time. This last year we got over the hump and finally won the league.
Last year We had a lot of guys who put a lot of work in the off season. Really paid off when it came down to CCS and Scavals. It was like our best finish in 25 years, and nothing really has changed because everyone knew we were all juniors and sophomores, so now we're looking to do even better as seniors and juniors.
They've all bought into the sport, and I think they understand that all this hard work will pay off in the end, and obviously it has. I think it was 15 years or so since 1986 since we had won the league.
I think we had a lot of potential last year and the years prior, but last year we really pulled together as a team. We didn't have as many guys come out as we thought we would, but for the guys who did come out, they really performed to their best, and I think that helped a lot to our success last year.
Paly volleyball also had a successful season, winning both the CCS, NorCal, and state championships.
We knew that we were going to be good, and we knew that states were a possibility, but we didn't want to expect anything because you never know. A lot of it has to do with luck of being seeded well.
I think one of the reasons we were so successful is that we had a really bonded team, and we were I guess we had a group of people that had been playing together for a long time, so that really helped us out. I think in the end it came down to who cared more, in our championship final, and we definitely showed we had more desire.
I would say it's kind of an indescribable feeling. I mean, it's really satisfying because it's all the work for all of this season that just kind of culminated in one really victorious moment.
Paly baseball finished off the year strong with their very own CCS championship.
We're successful because of the fact that although there was lots of individual talent, there was lots of team chemistry, and when you combine those, it was just a recipe for success.
Well, we obviously had a lot of success the previous year, so we just really built off of that. Talent-wise, we might not have been as good as we were the year before, but our team chemistry really is what made us so hard to beat. It's the best sports moment I've ever experienced here at Paly.
Not to be forgotten were the swimming and basketball seasons. Girls swimming won league and finished second in CCS, while Jasmine Toski broke a national public high school record in butterfly along the way. Boys basketball also won league for the second straight year, while the girls team did even better, winning league and CCS for the first time.
For Paly, relationships off the field are just as important as on. Team bonding is vital when teammates spend so much time playing side by side.
We spend literally the entire year together. I've been on this team since the end of my 8th grade years when we started practicing. I think cheer is unique in the fact that we practice all year round and have to spend a lot of time with each other.
I think team bonding is important for any sport. When you get to know the person that's next to you on the field or across from you on the field, you feel like you've got their back a little. When they're down, you can pick them up, and when you're down, they can pick you up. Kind of what a friendship is anyway, but it's friendship as part of a team.
It's necessary to have a bonded team on the field because you'll be able to pass to everybody.
It gets everybody really energized and working together on and off the field.
You have to know each other well, at least to a certain extent, to be able to play well.
Soccer is one of those sports where you need everyone on the field to be performing with the team and as a team, because all it takes is 1 or 2 players to be playing on their own, and the entire strategy falls apart.
I think the girls have found that the more they're together and the better they'll play with each other.
We're like sisters. We love each other, and we've known each other forever.
I think with
most teams, the age difference would be an issue, but because we've bonded so much, we feel a lot more united.
Team bonding allows us to develop chemistry with one another, so during a game we can go through plays without turning over because we know exactly what the other person's going to do because we develop that chemistry.
Team bonding is a key part of sports because you need to know each other to play well together.
I think that's really important because on the field you want everybody to know each other, really well. You want to know what people are going to do, and team bonding allows us to do that.
A lot of activities we do on the lacrosse team that build strong team unity. Some of them are fun, like team dress-up days or the gallon challenge, to prepare for games.
One that everyone notices the most are the haircuts. We all go and we have dinner at someone's house, and then we pull out the razor blades and scissors, and we all give each other probably the worst haircuts we've ever had in our life. But it's fun, and it helps bring us together as a team.
And for soccer, we actually do interrogations.
It's basically you just ask all the new players a bunch of questions, so you get to know them.
And it all stays within the team. So if you can keep secrets, you can keep trust in the field, and you can you don't have to worry about somebody else's role on the team. That everyone can step up and do their part.
Improves the overall chemistry.
In the locker room, we listen to a lot of music together, or we work out together in the off season and during the season. And after games, we go and get food together, and after practice, we do the same.
We just do games and activities, and it's really fun, and especially at the beginning of the year, so we can get to know the new people on the team.
We did a lot of team bonding, secret buddies and dance parties and hanging out on away games, and I think that our chemistry is what really set us apart from the other teams.
Being in the same locker room together basically helps you bond.
Our team is really, really close because we've all been dancing together since we were 4 and 5 years old.
To get together, we have to do some things that, bonds them together. And bonding together can come in many ways, from working hard, doing something that's extremely difficult, where they're all sharing that same pain, to doing some fun things, where they get a chance to hang out with each other, not necessarily in a basketball setting. A combination of those things is what I found has worked the best. And it only works if your team leaders put effort towards it, and the girls are sincere about getting together. And so far that's worked pretty well for us here at Paly Infocus.
Aside from what goes on within the teams, Paly can certainly take pride in support from their cheerleaders and devoted fans.
If Paly had someone who ran around the stadium in a Viking outfit, cheering on all our teams, there's no question that it would be Superfan Dan, jumping up and down under that plastic hat. Every student who knows Paly sports knows Superfan Dan. He's a hero, a legend, an icon, but he's also a man, and we wanted to know a little more about the man. First, we wanted to ask some of our fellow peers how they felt about Superfan Dan.
Alright, Dan the fan comes to our games, pretty spirited. It's nice.
Just know that he shows up at pretty much every Paly sporting event, and I think it's really cool that we have a fan that's that dedicated to Paly sports. One time he came up to me after a game and kind of put his arm around me and was like, "Great game, Michael." And even though I don't know him, it's kind of cool because it's he's really, really into sports, and that his passion is helping out support our Paly athletics.
So during the season, Superfan Dan is always out here supporting us.
It really helps the players when there's people out there cheering you on. It helps so much, and we really appreciate that Dan does that.
I think Dan the fan is really supportive. I see him at every single game. He's always in Paly gear. He congratulates players after the game, if they did really well. So I think that's really good. He's a really good guy.
Superfan Dan is best cheerleader Paly's got.
He'll be at every game. He'll be at...
No matter how far away the event is, he still comes. Even I remember for CCS, he came down all the way to Salinas just to watch our cross country meet.
Arguably the most dedicated fan at Paly.
Amazing, because my mom doesn't even come to any of my meets or anything.
He's called Superfan for a reason.
It's really nice how he always shows up.
He'll be at your practices. He'll just be there to support you. He'll travel for road games. He'll be there for home games. He is the Superfan. He's always there to support Paly, and I think that's the biggest thing. You know, he genuinely loves Paly, probably more than any student does, or will admit that they do. And you know, he just likes being there. He loves sports. You know, I've talked Stanford with him too, but he definitely cares about Paly the most. And you know, he's a person you really want to get to know. You know, not just judge him by his name and by his attendance at every Paly game.
We took our peers' advice and decided to get to know a little more about Superfan Dan himself. It was my privilege to meet him in person and ask him a few questions about how he got his name and why he loves Paly sports so much.
Superfan Dan, 2005, during basketball season. The INfocus people of that time, a guy named Martin, gave it to me. They interviewed me and he said, I'm here at the game with Superfan Dan. Root for sports other than professional sports or college sports. It's kind of different, and you can really make a difference. Professional sports or college sports, they draw huge crowds, and you just kind of blend in, and it's like nobody knows you exist. But here you can really get to know people and root for them and get to know a lot of nice people. The crowds are very personable. It's easy to get to know people and have interaction with people.
Being such an adamant Paly fan, we needed to know how many games Dan the Fan had been to this year, how many years he's been coming to Paly events, and how long he planned on continuing his tradition.
Oh, probably about 20 to 30. 18 years starting last October 1993. As long as I can. Hopefully many years to come.
So Dan, what are your favorite Paly sports?
Oh, I have several of them. I like water polo, swimming, soccer, track and field, and cross country. I also like lacrosse. That's another one of my favorite sports.
But Dan, why do you come to Paly? What makes us different from other schools?
I went to Paly, and I love high school students. Real sweet group of people, a lot of you. And well, when I was a student, I wasn't as much of a fan. I went to far fewer events. It's only now that I've been out of Paly a long time that I have been coming to stuff.
You come to every Paly game. How can we get more of our own student body to show up to our events?
Ask your friends to come to the games. Ask friends, ask acquaintances, ask your teachers. Just spread the word.
You heard it from Paly's very own Superfan Dan.
I'm Superfan Dan. Go Paly. You're the greatest.
Fans are great, but what's even greater is the massive help and support Paly athletics receive from families.
Alto has a strong tradition of family support and guidance. We talked to 2 varsity athletes to find out how their families have influenced their athletic careers.
From the get-go, my dad has helped me to get stronger and better at all the sports I compete in.
My family definitely had a big impact on it. They've always been really supportive of my team and myself, and they go to all the games. They cheer me on, and they've been a big help. So yeah.
So they give support all around, so it makes the team feel more like one big family.
I've had 2 daughters go through Paly.
Amen.
Well, I really like teaching in the community where I live, so that makes it maybe extra special for me.
A little too hot to handle, but Martin is there to finish it off. Bikes up by 2.
Families and the people surrounding it, so I think that makes it neat.
She knows a lot of people, and she's always supporting all the Paly sports, and not just me. She knows the other people on my team and people supporting us.
During the season, we try to support both our sons and the team by helping the coaches out in some of the non-coaching aspects of the sport. I've often been on the sidelines taking photographs of the team.
Everyone on the team tends to enjoy the pictures that my dad takes, and he loves to do it. It's his thing and his hobby, so it's a double win for that.
And my wife's often helped out as a team mom or team dinners and other things that have gone on.
My mom volunteers a ton for different activities to raise money for the teams, and also to keep the team bonding, like for team dinners. She helps out with that.
We're like a pretty spirited family, I guess. Like my dad, like he wears this, like the Viking helmet, and he's like, they call him Mr. Viking at our games, and he's not a teacher, so I don't know. I think it's just like in our family. Well, at our home games, he announces, so you can kind of hear him because he has a microphone.
Sometimes on the sidelines, my dad gives me tips and such, but he never interferes with the coaches and just helps me out all around.
As a parent, I don't feel like it's my role to coach my kid, but just to be there to help support him and let the coaches at Paly do their job. Coach Fung has worked with our boys in several during their seasons, but also in their off seasons with their sports.
He gets the right people for me to work with, like Coach Jason Fung, which I do programs in the summer to get stronger, faster.
Both seniors mentioned the constant support they feel from their parents' attendance at events.
Hi, Mom. This little Viking traveled all the way down to Irvine to cheer on her Palo Alto girls for the D1 final.
In my family?
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom and dad and sister came, so my whole family was there. I guess it made it seem more like it was a home match, or not a home match, but it made it seem like everyone was there supporting me. Everyone's families came down for the most part, and so it was a great feeling to know that everyone was there supporting us.
Well, my parents go to all my games pretty much.
Oh, I guess it's just the community feel. Fun to show up at an event and see familiar faces and cheer kids on. And it's nice to see the kids doing something outside of the classroom too.
But Paly athletes have been influenced by family members other than just their parents.
So another member of my family, Miles, he went through most of the sports that I went through before I got here. So most of the coaches liked him, which was good. So then I got a head start in the game. Right when I came in from 8th grade, the summer going into freshman year, I worked out with Fung, and he taught me a lot of things with Miles, and I just got right into it as soon as I got here.
My sister plays volleyball at UC Davis, Allison. She's definitely had a big impact on my career as a volleyball player, I guess. She went to the same high school, played years on varsity also, so it was nice being able to see her grow up.
Win or lose, Paly athletes have their families on their side.
Yeah, my dad always helps me when I lose and tells me that I need to work on some things, but he also gives me support, saying that I tried my best, gave it my all, and there'll be a next time.
My parents are really encouraging. They always want me to do what I love, and they want me to play because I love it, not because it's what I need to do.
Competing hard and having fun.
And winning.
And winning. Well, I think if you compete hard and have fun, once you get that winning tradition, it gives you some confidence. There's no question. It's like the can do, overcoming the odds and doing it. Beating the big brawny teams.
Paly has a history of athletic excellence, but instead of looking at the past, let's look into the future and hope for many more years of success. For In Focus, I'm Simone Buteau.